Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're diving right back into Elite Zoo North to continue wrapping things up. There is quite a bit to do today. Really hoping to get a time-lapse going right off the bat to hopefully finish that little Siberian village section off, because there's more stuff I'd like to do before we hit episode 100, so we can't spend, 10 more episodes on that one section, because there is still a lot to do. So time-lapse first today, and then a fair bit of management stuff. Make sure guests are still happy, especially. That's something I want to really focus on, is guest happiness and the gap in donations. Now, some of y'all pointed out that it's very possible that the donation drop happened because of how often animals were escaping. It's really hard to keep a track of the years and where one year begins and ends without paying very close attention to the date because of all the pausing and unpausing and things like that. So it's very possible that a lot of escaping was happening in those years where we saw a drop in donations. We'll have to keep an eye out for it, though. I want to make sure that happiness and education is up. We have to take care of some of our exhibit animals as well, but the first thing we're going to do is more or less immediately drop into a time-lapse. But I will say really quickly, folks, as always, if you're enjoying the series, if you'd like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. Last session, y'all delivered. It looks like Planet Zoo sort of got the engagement that it needed. Many of y'all were commenting that, hey, this was served to me in my feed. Some of y'all aren't subscribed, and it still showed up because you watch it, and YouTube realizes you're watching that, and that worked out. So that's great. The fact that y'all came through, liked, commented, and just helped sort of tell YouTube that you're interested in watching the series, even though there was that little break there, that unintentional break, was huge. So thank you all for that. Thank you all for coming through. It looks like we're back on track. So that's excellent. Now, with that said, what isn't so excellent is this horrendous weather we're getting. So we're going to just unpause, let the rain stop, and as soon as it's sunshine and rainbows, we will dive on into our time-lapse, right? So let's go ahead and unpause, and as we're doing that, I just want to touch on a couple of things, because why not? Might as well get some stuff done, right? No need to just push management to the other side only because it's while we're waiting for the rain to stop. So one thing is, wow, this lag is... Actually, you know what this reminds me? I've been told that I should try saving right after dropping in, because apparently that helps smooth the game out. I don't know if someone can confirm that, but that's what's been mentioned in the comments before. So let's try it and see if that helps at all, or if it's just a placebo effect. Change our camera mode over here as well. It's so funny. It's like the game has stopped responding to some of the shortcut keys. And you know what? The rain has already stopped. So I wonder if I should just hop into the time-lapse before it starts to snow or something. Yeah, let's see if we can't change the time of day just so it's a little bit sunnier. See how it looks in or at noon. And if it looks good enough, this isn't noon. This doesn't look like noon. The sun isn't... Well, it's not necessarily going to be directly above us because of our latitude, obviously. There we go. There we go. That's definitely a bit more what I was expecting. Let's try 2 o'clock, actually. That's a lot better. Cool. You know what? Let's dive into the time-lapse right away. Let's just fix a couple of these floating trees, because I always tend to... That's one of the things I always tend to forget is all the floating trees. And we got quite a few of them over here, actually. It annoys me how easily trees can float. There we go. I know when I say that it annoys me, I mean I annoy myself. That's a me thing. Also, many of y'all pointed out a couple of different shapes you recognize over here, which is hilarious. I've got cat, I've got owl, and I've got Totoro, and I see all of them, so thank you for that. I was wondering, I wonder if anyone's going to spot a shape over here, because during the time-lapse, there were certainly some shapes that I got rid of, because, didn't want certain shapes in the area, I would say, and then I was just curious what people would see, and yeah, I see it too. I see the cat, I see the owl, I also see Totoro as well. That's actually pretty funny. Pretty astute observations in the comments. Anyway, folks, sun's out. Let's get to work, right? We want to try and finish this off today. Hopefully, we'll manage to do just that. We've got all the building blocks we need to do it. So let's not waste any more time with my ramblings. We'll do this time lapse. Then we'll dive on into management stuff, check out our exhibit animals, and make sure that guests are happy. And we're just understanding the whole donation situation, because it is... I mean, again, it's only the 15th of January, so it's too early to tell how things are going, but look at this trend is not good. This is not... I mean, yes, we're trending upwards, but these numbers are really, really low. An average 20K is not good. Anyway, again, stuff we'll talk about afterwards. I digress. Folks, let's dive on in to our time-lapse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to conclude our work on the Siberian village. We've worked on it for so many sessions. We've gone back and forth with it for so long. Really happy with the end result today. First things first, we fix our little rink over here. Very interesting seeing all your comments about, ice skating culture in various parts, and it's just funny to see the overlap. Makes sense, I guess, but it's still interesting to read it and to have it confirmed that so many places do similar things. Just thought it was interesting. But beyond conversation, there was also quite a few solutions that were provided for how we might make this place work, or how we might make this space work a bit more like what we intend it to be. You can see I'm kind of fiddling around right now with finding the right pieces, because an essential part of the solution is the glass pane over here that doesn't have any frame. So what we've gone ahead and done is we've moved our ice down by, like a handful of millimeters. Then we've added a thin layer of water over top of it, because that makes it feel a lot smoother. Like there's that rough texture underneath, and there's a smooth layer over top, which is the water that's kind of got the rippling and stuff, so it looks like it's still a little bumpy. And then on top of that, we've added these glass panes, and that feels like it polishes off the top, and it is actually a smooth sheet of ice. This is a combination of solutions that were suggested in the comments, so shout out to all of y'all who were like racking your brains as well trying to figure out how to pull this off. I don't want to take credit for this solution because, again, it's from the comments. And it works fantastically. I actually go in and take a look at it a bit more closely after this time lapse as well, because I am very happy with how it looks, but it's got the reflectivity, it's got the texture, so it feels like ice, and then it's got that thin layer of water that adds that little bit of sparkle, adds that little bumpiness as well, so when you get down low, you have what feels like it used to be water underneath, like another layer underneath, and then on top of it, we've got that glass panel that just feels like it's iced over. It's got the reflection, it's got the glare, it's wonderful. Another solution that was suggested was to go with covering the entire space up with snow and then putting the glass down for a similar effect. I didn't try that. I wanted to try this one first because it was more complicated, and I like doing the more complicated thing first. And then I was happy with it, so I decided not to try the other option, but I feel like that would work as well, where you just put down a layer of snow and then you put the glass over top of it to make it reflective, because the glass really does a solid trick. Now over here and across the board, we want to just add some more decorations. You can see I added some more stores as well. We'll touch on that after the time-lapse too, but I also wanted to add a few more decorations. Now, there was a suggestion of putting in some ice sculptures here and there, if not in the center, then, somewhere in the area, and I really liked the idea because it made me think of actually that same place where, or at least in my mind, I remember it as the same place where I mentioned it's a huge, like, kind of commercial open air shopping area with a grassy area that gets turned into a skating rink. I'm pretty sure it was in that same space. Again, this is from when I was in high school, so it was a long time ago. In that same space, 1 year at least, they did a whole thing where students from our high school went over and learned how to do ice sculptures. So again, it's the same part of town, same everything. And so when it was suggested that we do put some ice sculptures in to our little village over here, I don't know, I guess the power of nostalgia and reminiscence took over, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that polar bear one isn't the only one we do. It's kind of silly, actually. The ice sculptures are really kind of silly. Sure, there's the polar bear, which makes sense. Then there's the, I guess that's the reindeer, and that one makes sense. But then there's, like, the gorilla and, like, the dodo bird. Why the dodo bird? Why in ice? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know, really weird to me. But that's besides the point. Over here, this was a suggestion from a couple of sessions ago that we could make the stop over here for our gondola ride look kind of like a water tower. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if water towers in Siberia look like this. I don't know if there is a specific style to them. I couldn't really find anything that I could use as a reference or anything like that. So hopefully this doesn't break our illusion of place, if you will. But I do like how it's turned out. It definitely, again, stands out. It feels different. It looks different. It feels like it belongs, which I think is perhaps the most important part of trying to theme a space, is nothing feels outside of the region. Oh, I was really worried about the roof. The only, like, quarter circle roofs that are available... Roofs? One of those English words, isn't it? Roofs. But a plural with an F should be roofs. But roofs doesn't sound right. When's the last time someone said the word roofs? Anyway, sorry. The only quarter circle roofs that are available are like the East Asian ones, and I guess they kind of feel East Asian, but with the amount of wood that we managed to put in there, it removes that that feeling from it. That's the one thing I was struggling with a fair bit, was just like, wow, how do I get that circle going? Because all of the other roof types have just like hard corners, like square corners, which again is kind of weird. It's just like, why not just make round options for more things? I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's more assets to build that you don't think will get used because they're not common. But, you know, like a metal sheet that has been bent into a cone is pretty common. So why not have one of those? I don't know, just a thought. Again, it's a very specific circumstance under which I am mentioning this. So I totally understand why the piece doesn't exist, because you cannot literally think of every piece and model and texture and store it, right? Like, this game's already pretty big. Imagine having everything that we ever wanted. It'd be a 1 terabyte game. And even then, we'd still be asking for more stuff. So I understand why it's not there, but I was just kind of wondering. But yeah, so this becomes a little water tower. I decide to hide some of this paneling down there so it feels like it's mostly made of wood. I left some of it as that white plastic. You know, I can actually probably go in there and change it to just be brown. So I might do that next session. Just need to remember to do that. And over here we add another store. I believe this is a Looney Balloons. Indeed it is. Just because we need to fill the space out a bit more. And I think while I was placing this, it really occurred to me what the big issue with the area is. It's not the number of stores or anything, but it's the shape of this space. And like just the negative space within that shape as well. Like, for example, the center of the circle here, the circular pathway, whatever you want to call it, it just feels empty, a little too empty, and like the wrong kind of empty. So I was like, okay, let's fill that space up a little bit. Let's do something, because again, you have to take scale into account as well. Like, look at the size of the picnic benches and compare that to how much empty space there is just kind of sitting there, not doing anything. So I started realizing, like, okay, there's too much empty space. There's not enough happening within the path as well. So this is where I start to like wonder, like, okay, well, what can we do to make it stand out? What can we do to make it interesting? And there's similar issues around the area as well, which I try to tackle. And here you can see me like looking up references and just thinking to myself, just like staring off into the void and wondering, like, okay, well, what works here? Until it finally occurs to me, finally strikes me, and then I second guess myself. I go, well, does that really make sense? I think so. Would it line up? Would it be centered? Ultimately, I go, come on, party, just do it. And if it doesn't work, delete it. It's fine. The time-lapse had already been going on for a fairly long time at this point in time, which is why I was kind of like trying to figure out, like, okay, well, I really want to finish this today. What else is there to do? Kind of thinking through my plans. But ultimately, yeah, we kick things into gear over here. So I decide to make another little sculpture in the area, but more than just a little sculpture that just kind of sits there. I wanted to build a little like space for it and cordon it off and things like that as well, because it just felt right. I tried to use the fencing, our custom-built fencing, but it was a lot of fiddling, and it didn't really look as good in the middle of the whole thing. I like that teal, turquoise, green as a spot color, as this like a little hint of, like a little pop of color. And I like it on the benches and stuff. That was also, again, suggested in the comments of the previous episode. I like it on the benches. I think it looks great. Ties everything in nicely. But the green fencing in the middle as well was just starting to become too much. It started to feel like I was looking at, I don't know, like a hospital wall, or really green toothpaste for some reason comes to mind. Anyway, next step is to actually get the sculpture in here. I want to do another ice sculpture. And this, I mean, this is not a reindeer, is it? This is just a regular deer, isn't it? But we'll call it reindeer just so it fits the space a bit better, I suppose. And then getting the snow in here. I'm so happy that we came up with that snow trick. It just works so nicely, and just brings some of these snowier areas to life because the rocks feel like they actually belong. And I decided to cover the whole space in snow. I felt like that would really help the space stand out as well, and it would fill the space up because it's not grass. It just feels like work has been done to it, and that really helps make a space feel complete. And you can see me kind of going down into like eye level and just getting an idea for how things feel, how things look from that perspective. And then I decide to fill out some of the space with some trees because honestly, it just kind of falls off. It's like there's the village and then there's nothing. And that's something I realized when I was down low. I was already thinking about filling the space out even more, but when I was down low at eye level, it made it very clear because the trees that we had so far, they're so thin that you can see right through them, and it's like they're not even there when you're down at eye level. And I was like, wow, yeah, let's fill out the space, let's add some more trees, and immediately you can see, I think at least, that this space feels like it's a lot closer to done. And from up over here, I'm really happy with how the statue in the center looks as well. I'm really happy with the distribution of color, I'm really happy with the skating rink and everything. It's all coming together, and I've always liked the idea of this space, and I've always liked where it was headed, but I was also always nervous about its execution. I was worried that we weren't going to hit the nail on the head. But I'm happy to say that with today's session, I finally feel comfortable with how it's all come together. It feels grand without feeling... Sorry, that's the wrong way to put it. It feels humble, but it's clear that effort was also involved. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it feels grand because it's not supposed to feel grand. It's supposed to feel humble and quaint, like a little village, right? That's the intent here, and I think we've nailed it. I mean, y'all let me know, of course. I'm always looking forward to reading your opinions in the comments. So let me know down below what you think. Hopefully y'all like it too. But I mean, this is one last piece that we work on. Again, just looking up references, trying to find a way to execute what I want to execute. And I actually don't realize this happens completely on accident. But I end up building a structure that is very similar to what we have at Bankrupt Night Market, which, coincidence? Question mark? But I wanted to build a little sort of covered area over here so that people that are looking at the animals, and if it starts to rain, they don't have to go to the information center and buy umbrellas, or they don't have to get upset that they're being rained on. Instead, they can stay here, look for longer, and drop a donation. Not entirely an altruistic construct there. It's not just to help the people, it's also to make sure that they stand by the donation bin for a little bit longer. So yeah, pretty happy with this. Gonna just build some supports, but this is more or less where we call it on the little village. But again, y'all let me know what you think. Very curious to hear it, and hopefully we can move on to other things. That's the time lapse today, folks. All right, folks, we are back, and I think I'm actually finally fairly satisfied with how that time lapse went. Lots of solutions we explored. I'm sure I touched on it all during the time lapse. I certainly hope I did. Oh, always when we come back in, I notice something that I'd like to just make a tweak to. I don't think that's a bad thing, really, but it's just kind of funny to me. There's always just that little extra. By the way, I like the fact that the feet and stuff are buried under the snow because it feels like the snow has actually like fallen and collected around it. If I could really get in there with like sculpting or something, I would even go in and like do this kind of a thing where it feels like it's clumped up by the feet. No, actually, this is kind of tempting. Also, realistically, I mean, the entire sculpture would probably block any snowfall from happening, but wouldn't look as pretty. And this is all, constructed anyway, so why not go over the top with it? Okay, I can't believe I'm here doing this right now, just going in and adjusting some snow around the foot of an ice sculpture, something we'll never see. I am probably wasting my time. I'm probably wasting all of our times. I mean, y'all let me know, but I feel like it's these little details that make our zoo all that much more special. Little thought and care that goes into all these little elements. There we go. Actually, that's a bit much. That doesn't make sense. There we go. That's a bit better. Push you over, and then back down a little bit. God, I love this little trick that we discovered. Wasn't it like entirely by mistake even? Yeah, that feels good. Even though we'll never see it again. When we come down low for like a tour or something. Yeah, see how that little break in the silhouette, it makes such a difference, doesn't it? Such a difference. I love it. I'm actually tempted. I'm not going to do anything like putting snow on top of it. I don't want it to look like it's been snowed on. I will say also that that glass solution has worked out quite nicely. So this is multiple layers over here. We've got the ice at the bottom. Grass down here, which maybe I should get rid of. Not that it's going to make a difference. I think it's only... Yeah, right. It's grass because there's water in here. If I get rid of the water... I was messing around with this as well. If I get rid of the water and I come back down over here, you can see it's snowy, and I can actually go ahead and paint some snow down. See if it actually sticks here. You see what happens is I put the snow down, right? Sure, it's all covered in snow now. But the moment I put the water down, right, the moment I put the water down, it changes to like soil or whatever. I mean, it might get re-snowed in. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, so it's the ground, then it's the ice blocks, then it's a thin layer of water, and then it's our panel, like glass paneling that doesn't have any edges or anything. And it all comes together really nicely because you get the ice at the bottom that makes it feel like it's pretty, you know, deep, or not deep, but like, yeah, it makes it feel like the water used to run pretty deep. Then you get that thin layer of water that really smooths it out and makes it feel like it's been polished at the top, but still has some of the rippling and whatnot. So it's not perfectly smooth. And you've got the glass at the top, which really makes it feel like it's been, you know, completely polished down and made smooth. Hot tips in the comments, hot ideas, or rather I should say really cool ideas in the comments. Man, I should be upset at myself for that one, I think. Jeez. But yeah, it looks great. And it also, because we've got the glass, it's got that glare and stuff as well. And it really does feel a lot more on point. It's got the reflectiveness, it's got the glass. I mean, it's got so many layers to it, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's pretty dope, I gotta say. Like, just putting this together was fun, and seeing the result is a lot of fun. I'm glad it worked with the weird shape we've got going on. I'm hoping once I hit play, we'll see the snow extend into that, but one thing I just noticed actually is a little bit more snow over here. There we go. I want this whole area to look nice and snowed up. I want it to feel... I want it to stand out from the rest of what's going on in the rest of the zoo. I wish you could, like, get snow-covered trees and stuff as well, but this will have to do. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more snow over here. There we go. Beautiful. And hopefully this will work out nicely. I feel like it finally feels complete. We've filled out the space a little bit. We've added these trees. So it really feels like you're in a humble, you know, village, I guess, that... ironically, based on the conversation we had last session, and perhaps the session before that as well, these guys would probably depend on logging quite a bit for their economy. Yeah, really happy with how these have been placed and stuff as well. Just putting this on an angle. I mean, it looks like it's trying to eat a flower off this tree or something. I don't know, but it looks adorable to me. Like a curious bear. Okay, cool. We're done there. Finally, that was a huge undertaking. And you know what I think would really make this place feel a lot better is if we go over here, loop up a couple of these trees, bring them over. I've seen all you folks in the comments marking out the floating trees. I definitely need to do something about that. I need to sort that problem out, because and I don't understand. Oh, actually, no, I get it. I guess it's a little unfortunate that it is the way it is, but basically, when you duplicate trees, the most convenient way for long distance moving, it ends up using the height of, I think, the lowest tree to mark where all the other trees should end up. I think that's what's going on in terms of height. I've got a lot of floating trees, and I've seen y'all point many of them out. I need to spend some time at some point and just go through and fix all that up, and that'll make a world of difference. Just to knowing that all those trees have been taken care of. Y'all are also very good at spotting them. I don't know how you do it, honestly. I'll be like, I guess I get again. I'm always so focused on other stuff that I'm not looking around as much, but it is genuinely wild to me how good y'all are at spotting some of these floating trees, and I'm just like, what? How did you see that tree? And sometimes I'll go to a timestamp and I'll be like, what are you talking about? Oh, there it is. It'll take me a minute. So thank you. I do have to go through and do that at some point. Take care of that. Go ahead and lower these trees. Yeah, there we go. So I just feel like, yeah, see, filling this space out is making a world of difference, and I think it's a necessary world of difference. Now, something that's really funny to me, actually, is putting all these trees down, duplicating these trees, you know, at such a scale, at such a number, just makes me think of when we were copying trees from different parts of the zoo, like pre-existing trees from different parts of the zoo, because we couldn't really afford to put down too many trees of our own. Like when money was tight. It's funny. I'm looking forward to Elite Zoo South because I think it will be a fun return to some of those other challenging elements and really pushing, again, it pushes your creativity when you're trying to make something special on a tight budget. So I'm pumped for that. It should be interesting. Actually, on the topic of Elite Zoo South, something came to mind just yesterday, like as I was trying to fall asleep. I'm one of those people that just can't sleep. And so you just think about everything, and eventually your brain gets tired about thinking, and then it goes, you know what? Yeah, let's go to bed now, and you just pass out. I'm one of those. So yesterday, I was actually thinking about this. If we're going to start Elite Zoo South, I was talking, I think a few sessions ago, I was talking about what should our central animal be. Like with Elite Zoo North, we've got the wolves, and I would say they worked decently for us. People came through, there were donations coming through, we were making a decent bit of money. Now I was thinking like, all right, well, we need to make sure that our initial investment is wow, we're actually below 2 million, eh? That's wild. But anyway, sorry. We have to make sure that our initial investment in Elite Zoo South, or at Elite Zoo South, I guess, is a moneymaker. And I realized we actually have some saltwater crocodiles over here. I mean, I knew we had saltwater crocodiles, but I realized that these saltwater crocs are a perfect candidate for that first animal. I mean, y'all let me know what you think. It'd be nice to start with a new animal right off the bat, but what I was thinking was it'd be really nice and a unique opportunity for us to find the best saltwater croc that we have as offspring, and have them be one of the parents at the new zoo. I think it'd be pretty cool. It's a good tie-in, you know, all the way from Elite Zoo North. You know, let's say Banyu has been brought in, or whatever it might be. I don't know. I felt like it would be a really nice tie-in. Let's go ahead and actually move you over. And it would also, I've got some ideas as to what that enclosure might look like. We'll try and make it different from this. We're going to make the experience different as well. So it's not like we're just going to rebuild the same thing and it's going to be boring to watch and do. So don't worry about that aspect. But y'all let me know what you think about having the saltwater crocodiles as the first animal in Elite Zoo South. Again, it's still a ways away, but this is how I work. I think, you know, I think ahead of the current circumstances, and I want to make sure that we get off on the right foot because, and again, it's only January 15th, so we're not going to see a good reflection right now, unfortunately. But these guys were making money, if I recall correctly. Yeah, you can see they're making a decent bit of money. It's only the 15th of January, and money's already coming through, so I feel like that'd be a good, secure first setup. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit play. No, let's not. Sorry. I just realized I have to, these will be fine. I have to do a couple of things. For one, let's go ahead to the exhibits. I'm looking at exhibits first. Not the market, but our storage. Let's go ahead and empty our storage out. Quick trade, right? Not a problem. This will be another thing that will help. When we get to the new zoo, we have to make sure we build exhibit animals as quickly as possible. Remember those cash injections? They were very, very helpful. Let's not pretend we're not going to need them, because chances are I will take some risks, I will make some mistakes, and I don't want to have to pay the price. We can preempt the possible negative impact of our uncontrollable... trying to find the best way to phrase this. Basically, I want to make sure we are in a position where if we get all gung-ho about... Oh, this is actually quite a bit more crowded than I would have expected. But yeah, if we ever get to a point where we're super excited to execute something, I want to make sure that we don't get punished, so to speak, for executing it. And so it'd be nice to have this like backup source of funds. Obviously, it'll be a little different because we won't have as many. So many offspring expected. Oh my god. Let's just keep a couple. Well, sorry, hold on. Let's keep all the pregnant females. Right. And let's keep one male. Oof. This will need emptying out again real soon. Look at that. So many pregnancies. Wild. But yeah, so I just want to make sure that we are thinking like 4 steps ahead every step of the way. I want to make sure that we are preempting potential struggles. I do not want to end up bankrupt again or near bankrupt. I cannot believe, like, I think one of the most worrying moments I've had on this channel in any video game ever, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I'll have to think about it a bit more, but I'm fairly confident that that bankruptcy, that near bankruptcy rather I should say, was one of the most nerve-wracking moments for me with regards to games I've played on the channel, because let's get rid of these guys because they're a lot older. We just have younger options available. But yeah, because we were having a good time, everything was flowing pretty smoothly, we were doing very well, the series was doing very well as well, so I was, you know, very happy about that, and I was worried that if we were to go bankrupt, like what happens next? Do you restart? Or would people be interested? Is it disappointing? Would everybody be upset? Like, I didn't know what to expect. And much like I'm one of those people that stays up late thinking and not being able to fall asleep without thinking 100,000 thoughts, I'm also one of those people that always plays out the worst case scenarios in their head. And I was just like, oh man, having so much fun with Planet Zoo. This is unfortunate, but we'll see what we can do. I am glad we stuck through it. I am glad we fought for our wonderful zoo. We made it work. We made the sacrifices. We fired the staff. We adjusted our approach. We got rid of the polar bears, right, temporarily. We kept them in storage. And it all worked out in the end, but man, that was some of the most nerve-wracking stuff. And just rambling, I guess, but it's fun to kind of share where my head was at with some of these things. I mean, if y'all don't care, and if y'all would rather I just quietly talk about, like, ah, yes, and now once more we go to the roaches, and, God, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with anything there. Every time I click on that thing, my skin crawls. Like, legit, I feel like, hate roaches. Oh, God. Hate roaches. But yeah, I feel like it's always fun to get some insight as to what's going on in people's heads and stuff. And I just that was an interesting time in my Planet Zoo series for sure. But point being, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to be in a situation where we might have to shut down Elite Zoo South. That would be unfortunate. And they're so cute, these elephants. We didn't actually take a look at them after our return. Such cuties. Such cuties. Even the adults, I mean, come on. They're so cute. They're so cute. Anyway, back on task. So that's, who do we take care of? We've taken care of the animals underground. We've taken care of Nom Nom. We've taken care of the tavern. We've taken care of our little corner over here, our Oceania corner. We have taken care of Bagraba. I believe that's all of our exhibit animals. Always throws me off. Because there are so many parts that don't have exhibit animals, it just feels off. But yeah, I think that's everything. I mean, if I've forgotten something, y'all feel free to point it out. I think we're good to hit play now. Actually, one last thing. 2 last things, sorry. I just turned over to check my notes and that was a couple things we have to do. For one, I need names for stalls, for shops. One that I already have, is absolutely brilliant, is for the info center. We're going to call it, I'm going to have a hard time saying this word, which is ironic, articulate. You know, you try to articulate your questions and what. I love it. Excellent suggestion. Came in out of left field. Wasn't expecting it, but articulate aside. We need a name for our Just a Memento. We need a name for Gulpy Energy 12, Chief Beef 10. We've already got Chili Dogs, but we need something for the Street Fox Coffee. And we've also got ourselves a Wolf It Down, right? We've got the name there. I knew there was another one up over here. And then we need a name for our Looney Balloons as well. So feel free to drop some name suggestions down below. And then we will truly have capped off this entire section. And then we can move on to some other things. And the next time-lapse that we're going to do next session, I don't think I want to mention what my plan is, because I think it's going to come as a bit of a surprise of like, oh wow, right, this thing. So I'd like to keep it close to the chest for now. Let's go ahead and unpause. And now, again, we want to take a look at how our guests are doing, guest happiness, guest education, things like that. But actually, I mean, one more thing I want to do while paused, but you know what? I've hit play now, so too late for that. Oof, this frame rate. It must be recalculating stuff. This is ridiculous. Like half a frame a second here. There we go. Alright. No, Ronith, no. How long has he been with us? Play one last time with that rubbing pad. Go for it, buddy. Go for it. Don't like seeing animals pass away. Now's the time to look away. Oh man, that hurts. The unfortunate truth of unpausing. Here we go. Oh man. Oh, that was a laborious animation. That was hard to watch. Oof. Okay, well, you served us well. All the vet. One more for the memorial, right? One more for the memorial. Now we do still have our female here, Syra, is also elderly. I suppose we'll wait until she passes away, and then we'll bring in a new breeding pair. Ayan and Ria will keep the guests happy in the meanwhile, I suspect. Okay, it's Feb 4. I just very quickly want to check how the Crocs are doing, because if we're going to, if they're going to be the Crocs of our move to Elite Zoo South, then we want to make sure that I've got it right, so to speak. Because the Guriel, yeah, these guys make so much money. These guys make me so much money. Also, it's so cool to see this like dock area be used properly. It's so crowded, it's so full. It makes me so very happy. I didn't even realize we kind of mimicked a similar structure in the Siberian village area. The covering and all that. But yeah, so you can see we're comfortably making enough money in just a month. Well, fine, in 2 months. I was gonna say a month and a half, but let's just say 2 months. We've made 1,000, 2,000 approximately. That's from one donation bin. Now again, if this was a bit more concentrated, if people were, you know, a bit more densely packed, like for example, let's not forget how the camels, which are, I believe, a less interesting animal, like as far as game mechanics are concerned, because we've got this central viewing spot, they make us a decent bit of money, right? Jay Chunder's expecting offspring. That's amazing. So yeah, so I feel like the Crocs are definitely going to be the way to go. Like, what are we looking at here? Already more money, 1,800. Jeez, yeah, this is going to be good. Oh, I didn't realize I have an animation for cleaning the tops of tables. Anyway, that's exciting. That's exciting to me. And, I mean, I'm just going to double check, because I'm 99% sure I've got this right. But let's not leave that 1% up to chance. They are also, yes, very much where we want to be a part of. And again, it's a good transitional animal as well. Cool. It'd be great if it was also, like, endangered or something, because that would just, you know, help us even more. Oh, it's going to be data deficient. Interesting. It's going to be interesting. Remember, we have a Nile monitor as well as one of our rewards, so that might be one of the earlier animals that we do as well. Protesters. What for? What are you protesting? Why is he upset? Well, first of all, it's great to see you on this rock over here. Second of all, are you stuck on this rock over here? Space. Yes, you are. How does that make any sense? It's okay, baby. We got you. We got you. I've seen your struggle. We got you. How did you get on here if you can't get off here? Oh, you know what might have happened? I wonder if they jumped from up over here. Now, that seems very unlikely. But something happened. Now you're able to get out. Good. Wild. Alright. That's... Oh, no, Syra. No, we weren't there for Syra. Are you kidding me? That makes me sad. Alright. Let's call the vet here. Wow, back to back. That's like dying from heartbreak levels of timing. Jeez. That's sad. But we have a breeding pair, if I'm not mistaken. We have a breeding pair. We have two breeding pairs, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So we could get Anirudnu or Dhriti. Let's get Dhriti in here. I think, and I don't think. Let me actually check. Are you able to? No, it's inbreeding. Figured as much. All right, so we do need an alternative option, or we bring Dhriti in. Let me check something here. Anirudnu, who are you able to mate with? Not Dhriti, obviously. Not Divya. Not Anika. And Amrita. Okay. Not the best immunity, though. And fertility, you can see as well. Because of their overlaps, it can result in a drop. Not necessarily that it will, but it can. Alright, now, what about these guys? Let's pause for a second before things start spiraling out of control. It's too bad you can't check mates when they're young. I understand that they're not going to mate as juveniles, but let me see what their potentials are. Because what I could do is I could just bring in a... let's see. Got the better genes here. 192, 50, 83, 100, 150. Okay, sure. So let's go ahead and bring our female Bengal tiger in, which I believe is Dhriti. And she will be able to mate with a Yan, hopefully soon. Dhriti. Yeah, they should make a good pair. Go ahead and move you here. We'll mark Ayan as the father-to-be. And hopefully they'll result in good offspring. Now, when do they become adults? Let me check. Or rather, when do they become... what's the... I guess, yeah. Sexually mature. 4 years. Okay, so basically right now. Any second now. Ayan will become mature. So that's actually pretty good timing. Okay, good stuff. It all works out. It all works out. Oh, why have you not been picked up yet? Hopefully a vet can get up there. Should be able to. The animals can get up there. Typically the vets are able to as well, unless it's through jumping. We'll find out. We'll keep an eye out for it. More vet research being completed as well. And you know what, since we've paused again... Oh, right, this reminds me. Seeing the tech reminds me. So some of y'all pointed out a weird... what seems to be a bug. Which is... yeah, what? Grade 3. Oh. Grade 3. Yeah, this is strange. Wow, the labeling is backwards. Now, what do I trust? Do I believe that they're getting grade 3 now? Oh, that's weird, man. That's unfortunate. Grade 2. Okay, that's confusing and unfortunate, but that's got to be a bug, right? I can't imagine any other explanation. Like over here, I'm like 90% sure I changed that to grade 3 last session. Like, I would say 100%, but obviously it hasn't been changed, so I missed something. But that's good. Who else mean, I feel like I need to check everybody. Okay, at least they're getting grade 3. Damn, I wish I'd have to track. Oh, the snow leopards, right. Man, I really like this zoo. I am so pleased with how it all comes together and how special each section feels. Yeah, these guys are grade 3. I think it was pointed out in the comments, but these guys are grade 3. All right, cool. We'll keep an eye out for anything else that pops up when we're looking around. Actually, let's look at the macaque right now, because since they're the ones that reminded me, let's make sure that they are, in fact, eating right. Well, they are now. Boom, there we go. Beautiful. Cool. And since we're paused, I did want to do this one other thing with the staff. I want to make sure that our vendors, especially, let's just focus on our vendors right now. I want to make sure they're all 5-star. Because when vendors are 5-star, they serve people faster. And when you serve people faster, you get through more people faster. And when you get through more people faster, you make more money faster. Let's go ahead and make sure that we do that. Let's get our security ranked up as well. But yeah, vendors. Try and get them all the way up to rank 5 as soon as possible. So many of them are going to be rank 1 because, again, every time we put a shop down, it hires rank 1 vendors. The other thing I should really consider, again, is hiring more vendors separately. Because, remember, what we like to do is maintain, like, sort of a shift kind of a thing. And make sure that people are, that all the stalls are, you know, someone's responsible for them, even when somebody might be taking a break. Like, we want to make sure the stalls are always being taken care of, is what I'm getting at. So we might need to hire some more vendors as well, because right now, they just sort of... Some stalls are definitely sitting idle at times. I'm not sure how that's affecting guest happiness. Probably very adversely, is what one would expect. I mean, on the flip side, we have spots where it's like, oh, there's 2 different kinds of food options, there's 2 different kinds of drink options, so it kind of works out for a thirsty or hungry guest. But that means you have a building that is sitting there, looking pretty, doing absolutely nothing, not making any money for you, and just costing, you know, space, maintenance, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to highlight as the most important aspect of your business. So I feel like that's definitely something I need to look into as well. Maybe I'll do that right now. That's all our vendors. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. We're not going to assign any work zone or anything to them. Well, let's go ahead to the staff menu, hire a bunch of vendors. And again, we'll want to rank these guys up as well. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what, 7, 8? Yeah. I wonder if it should... if I recall correctly, at one point we were contemplating making it 3 per shop. But another way to do that is to just go in and hire a bunch of people. I need to decorate these things. Damn. Didn't even notice that. Completely forgot about those guys. Keep adding more vendors. Sure, some more over here as well. This will hopefully help ensure that these things stay open at all times. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's that's good enough for me. Work zones really quickly. To our Arctic work zone, I must add all of these stalls up over here. And this as well. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. You. Get you guys in here as well. Get you in here. Get you in here. Beautiful. Cool. Now, we'll get to hit play and just take a look at how guests are behaving and things like that. End of March already. Yeah, it's really hard to keep a track of time because of how we pause, play, and the speed of the game as well as... Yeah, 3,000 in 3 months, that's not bad. Approximately, obviously, I'm rounding. These are really useless donation boxes, aren't they? I mean, no one stops here. That one might have something. All the babies came out at once. Oh my god, we just emptied you. That is wild, man. That is absolutely wild. Oh, done. And I'm guessing it's filthy. Yeah, let's go ahead and call a keeper. Clean this space up. And now, let's go ahead and get rid of these animals. The 20k made approximately. Good stuff, not bad. By the way, it was pointed out that you can only have 3 ad campaigns going at a time. So we've maxed out our ad campaigns right now. Good to know. Thanks for the heads up. But that's that done. Alright, let's go ahead over to here and actually want to check. How's this one doing? Nothing for this one either. I mean, I'm not sure if there isn't one, but I'm pretty sure I've never seen a donations. Like, it'd be great to see like greens, yellows, reds on donation bins to see like what people, like where people are donating versus not. Small steam train 1 was full. You'll try somewhere else. Get some interesting stuff if you try small steam train 1. Yeah, absolutely. You're over here. You're thirsty. Why don't you go drink? What's up with you? Why are you so upset? Not the tree. I hope the tree's not upset. You. Why are you upset? The line was completely full. What do you want me to do? It's a popular ride. Why is it zooming over here? This is doesn't help me at all. I'm sorry. Ayan's about to mature. That's great. Facility's broken down. Facility without power. I assume that's because this thing's a little damaged. Yep. Go ahead and call the mechanic to this. Folks are coming through, it looks like. Going back and forth, alright. You're hungry, you're thirsty, you're everything. So why don't you take care of that over here? Got all the stalls. Okay, going home. But why? Are they gonna take the suspended gondola? You came all the way here and then you didn't see the Arctic Wolf. You fool. Why not on your way home? Check it out. I don't know. Looney Balloons will hopefully have power soon. This thing's waiting to go, I think. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. What else have we got? What else have we got in terms of guest happiness? And hopefully donations. A little bit. Alright, what's the deal here? You're hungry. I want to go to Suspended Gondola 1. Okay, good for you. Habitat 32. Oh, wow, right. I forgot to rename this. That's, it's kind of funny. Where is the sign, actually? There it is, Tundra Trail. Tundra Trail. Now actually official. Oh, dear. Maturing saltwater crocodiles. Need to get ready to send them to storage. Pretty sure we're close to max. If not at max. Education is low. Everything else is good, but your happiness is low. My time at the Crikey Creek habitat was okay. Spent too much time walking. God. Got a zoo. You're thirsty. Is there a place to drink? I mean, there is. Okay, you know what? Here's what I want to do. I want to follow this person. Just for a little bit. Suzette Rawls. Let's see what you do here. You're thirsty. So I should see Suzette go. Okay, I'm not going to stop you from going to the donation box first, so feel free, go for it. But they should head to grab a drink. There are 2 places nearby where they can get a drink, right? One is up over here at Bankrupt Night Market, and the other is up over here. So I suspect... No, why? 8% thirsty. Go have a drink. You're thirsty, you're going into Nook Nook. Go have a drink. Actually, I'm curious how they'll get there. Just curious about some of these movements and things like that. Oh, hello. To the Ivory Palace. How are you going to get to Nook Nook from here? You go to the train? Are you going to take the boat? It doesn't tell us how they're going to get there. I want to speed time up just to follow them. Oh, that's unfortunate, because I am quite curious about the path they're going to take. That's another thing I wish we had was traffic flow maps. Just so you could go see where people go in what order and how. Or now, why are you unhappy? Time at all these places was okay. I don't understand that. Why only okay? Did they not get what they needed? Did they not get education? Did they not get, what, good scenery? What's going on over here? We're having a conversation. So, like, what's your problem? Like, it's mostly positive, followed by a lot of middling, and then one or two bad things. Right? But some of those bad things have been taken care of. Like, she said she was really thirsty at one point, but now her thirst has been taken care of. Yeah, her happiness is at 7%. 7% is really bad. She's looking at an animal that she doesn't even care to see. What? Is that what affects happiness? What they've seen? Okay, happiness is going up now. 19%. Now you're headed to Tundra Trail. Alright, good. 21%. Okay, that's good. But these guys just became unhappy. Habitat has loads of plants in it. Yes, yes it does. Animals like that. Okay, so they're going to Tundra Trail, and that's good. Then they're going to check off one of their boxes, right? Because they want to see the Arctic wolf. So that should be good. Interesting to see how they think. I can't spot the consistencies as clearly as I would like to. Okay, Ningrat, I assume you're the one we're going to, yeah, send to storage. Trade Center, please and thank you. You guys can stop fighting now. Also, please and thank you. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Satyawan versus Banyu. Alright, Satyawan, go ahead and grab you here. To the Trade Center. Thank you. That should be good. That should do the trick. And who is your mate? Ratu. No. Elok? Assume it's Elok. We can start having more babies, actually. So let's go ahead and get you off of contraceptives. Let's see if we can't find this Elok. Elok. Not 100% sure. Where are you? Go ahead and mark you as the mother. A new mother, I suppose. But, where is Kadek, actually? Starting to get so, okay, he's in the trade center. This is our new pair, then. Banyu's got decent genes, right? Yeah, Banyu's got good genes. Let's go ahead and mark you as the father, or the dad, I guess. Based on the lettering that we use. Okay, so if y'all have any insight as to like look at this guy, right? Look at this guy. Viewing Crikey Creek. He thinks this place is great. A lot of damaged things. Okay, hold on first of all, before we forget about that. Crime. Everything's fine. Okay, where'd he go? Oh damn, is he happy now? And I've lost him? No, there he is. Yeah, I think this is the guy. Alright, his happiness is going up. Fine, fair enough. He's an example of a problem being solved then, I guess. Ooh. Baby bears. Yes. Mind if I do? Yeah. Where are my baby bears? There we are. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. They're so tiny as well. Oh my god, that's terrifying. Man, bears, and they're just, like, the fact that they stand up sometimes and they just, like, wave at you. Oh, okay, this is pretty cool. This, alright, come on. This is an album cover, right? This is an album cover. That's hilarious. Like a gangsta rap album cover. But yeah, bears are hilarious. They'll just stand up, they'll wave at you, all that kind of stuff. He looks pretty boss. Sorry, check. Yeah, he looks pretty boss. This is great. This pleases me greatly. I don't know, come up with your album titles. I'm very curious. Bear gangsta rap album titles. Do you think bears would be mumble rappers or, you know, actual rappers? Ooh. Anyway, that aside, I'm curious to try and figure out what this whole happiness thing is, and if y'all have any like solid suggestions as to what I'm missing, or maybe I'm not missing anything and I just think I'm missing stuff because I happen to be catching people when they're unhappy. Because overall, our happiness is pretty good. I'm like being harsh on myself if you take a look at the thing over here. Though some of these things are starting to become issues, thirst especially. I gotta figure out where guests are getting thirsty. And is just the upgrade to the vendors going to make all the difference I needed to make? These guys are all thirsty. And hungry. That's because they're on their way in or out, so this is not really the best place to judge. They're probably on their way out, is what I mean, sorry. People start to get hungry and thirsty over here, or at least thirsty over here, thirsty over here. Well, there's places to drink. Thirsty over here, well, there's places to drink. I mean, there's stuff nearby everywhere where people are hungry, or where people are thirsty. And I assume hunger overlaps a little bit. It's also widespread. Definitely gonna have to kind of like sort through this and figure out. Like, all these folks, they're thirsty. Well, okay, there's stuff here. It's not that far away. What does the game expect me to do? Put down... Well, there's also stuff literally right here. So why not go to one of these things? Go to Mountain Dew. Why not just grab a drink over here? I guess it's because they're not thirsty enough right now, but they will be when they arrive at their new destination. Sure. You're thirsty, why not grab a drink before... I don't know. If anybody does know anything concrete, feel free to share your insight, because I'm curious. It's one of those things that, like... I'm not going to say I'm, like, obsessive or neurotic or anything like that, but it does bother me that I see thirst, orange, people seem to be very thirsty. Overall, people are happy, which is great, but people seem to be suffering from thirst a lot. And yet, whenever I find someone who's thirsty, like... 2 out of 10 times, I will understand why they are thirsty. But 8 out of 10 times, I'll be like, well, there's a spot to grab a drink right next to you, and you're not going there, so what gives? Look at these crowds, too, eh? Call it a day. And then what's up with this? Is like people who haven't seen any of the animals they actually want to see. Like, you could have seen the polar bear and the reindeer and the Baird's tapir. This is the stuff that, like, I want to understand, and I don't. Baird's tapir. You come here, you check the Baird's tapir out, then you go up here, onto the train, you take the train takes you over to this station over here, you get out the station, you go, you check out the polar bears, you go, wow, I've seen the polar bear and the Baird's tapir, what are the chances? Then you go back out over here, you go down this way, you loop over, you head over this way, you go, oh wow, I've seen the reindeer, they're literally right next to the polar bear. How awesome, I've seen most of what I've wanted to see already. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that? Anyway, seeing Western Diamondback Rattlesnake reminds me that apparently I forgot to re-enable the speaker. Let's go ahead and fix that. Thank you all for pointing that out. Anyway, my rambling and ranting aside, if y'all have any insights, thoughts, suggestions, ideas as to what's going on with all that sort of stuff, let me know, please, because I would really like to tackle that. I want to spend some time focusing on all that stuff, not just for now, but also so that down the line, with Elite Zoo South, we can pre-tackle some of these issues and make sure they don't happen in the first place. Anyway, folks, this is where we're going to call it a session. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoy your weekends ahead as well, if you're watching this, on the day of release or anything like that. Yeah, I enjoyed this session. I'm so happy to see another section completed. Things are coming together. This is wild. We continue to barrel towards episode 100, folks. If you're excited, let me know. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to just move forward with all of our learnings. Anyway, folks, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting this channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. I cannot express my appreciation enough. You help me feel stress-free, much like the flamingos were this session. Apart from that, of course, a massive thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and just hanging out. I love it. Thank you all for being here. Until next time, cheers.